All right. Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining this evening. I think we have just about an hour to go through some color topics tonight. And so Eileen had asked me to cover some color theory as well as some color techniques. And so I picked out of my library of topics a couple of areas that I wanted to go through with you. And I'm going to start out with a little bit of color theory, just to kind of get a grounding around that. So the first thing that I wanted to make sure that I kind of covered with you is the difference between the colors of the RGB and the CMY or CMYK as we normally see it. And the most important thing to know about that for those of you who may be fairly new to the color world is that the RGB is what they consider to be additive color. That's our digital world, what we see when we're talking about screen or the things that we do with our web and our monitors. When you have additive color, when you take the colors and you put them together, you get those intermediate colors. So when you combine the green with the red, you get the yellows. And when you combine the greens with the blues, you get the cyan. And when you combine the blue with the red, you get your magenta. When you put all three of them together, you add till you get to white. And that's what makes these three colors additive in the screen world. But in the ink world, they're not considered additive. They're considered subtractive. You start out in the ink world with black, and then you subtract the colors in that world so that when you subtract the yellow from black, you get your blues. When you subtract your cyan, you have your reds. And when you subtract your magentas, you get your greens. So that's just kind of the very high level of how those two sets of colors interact with each other in the two worlds that we talk about a lot, or we see in our color perspectives of the CMY, and then of course K in our print world obviously represents our black. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you tonight is just a couple of little things about some color things online that you may or may not be familiar with. When you're doing your print things, a lot of times you may be working with composites, or you may be working with your pictures, and you want to get color, like a color palette of some kind, or you see a really cool picture and you think to yourself, I really would love to know what those colors are. Well, there's several different sites out on the web that you can go to that will generate for you these color palette generators. And I have a few of them here for you tonight to demonstrate. This particular one, cssdrive.com, and I will send these links so they can be put up either on the website or wherever we're going to host the video for you after the fact. But if you go to some of these websites, and I'm going to demo them for you here, you can see that you can choose an image. And if I choose an image, I've got these out on my desktop here, I believe. Where's my Zoom images, and go here to my color palette generator. And if I choose one of these images, like say this one, for instance, and I load that up, then I can say, get the color palette from that image. And it's winding. And it will then present me the color palette from that image. And you see that it gives me my light colors, my medium color, and my dark colors. The reason why I like this site is you can also save this as a style sheet, or you can save it as a Photoshop swatch file, which means if you hit that download, it'll download it as a file that you can then click on and load it right up into your Photoshop file. There's another one out here that I use. You can use. It's called a palette creator. Again, you can just upload a file, like say you wanted to get the colors out of this thing here. Uploading the files. I probably should have got some smaller files. Let's go on to this one. Choose a file. Upload this thing here. Maybe it's smaller. And again, it will process that file for you and give you a color palette, and then you can actually get back the hex codes, and you can see see what the colors are. You can get the codes, and then you could use those codes in your images if you wanted to like match those colors some way from a color palette that you like and you were working on some kind of a composite yourself. Now, the best tool that if you're not currently using it, the best tool for managing color is the actual web app that Adobe gives you. You do not need to be a member of the Adobe plan in order to use this. You can go to this color.adobe.com and go to the color wheel, and you can pick a color out of your image, any color, and put it here in the center, and then you can apply color rules to it. So if you were working on an image and say you wanted to get a complementary color, for instance, that you say you had a model or something and you wanted to change the colors of their clothes or something, and you wanted to match that to like your background colors, and you wanted to know what was a complementary color to the color of their dress or something, right? You can put that color in here, and then you can go to these color rules, and you can get either a monochromatic color so that you're getting some tones similar to it, or you can go and find out what is the best complementary color to that, or you can get your split complementaries and see what colors are the best ones to use with your primary color that's in your image. When I'm doing compositing, as far as matching the colors in my composite, I use this Adobe color wheel all the time. And then you can actually save these things out to your color theme, to your library. So if you have your library set up already, like I have my color themes out here already, and so for some of my composites, I may have gotten some of their themes already that I would follow, but also with some of my composites, I can save the like one of these is one of my crown cranes that I painted, and so I can save the color palette that I used in that one. So if I wanted to maybe do a series and I wanted to use that color palette again, I can save it right out here in my library that is available to me right here inside my Photoshop, and I can go right here to my color themes and grab that color theme of my cranes right here from my color libraries. So it's very nice to be able to manage your colors through that color website, and to be able to both build your new colors and explore colors and learn about the different color rules and I just accidentally closed it. But I just wanted to introduce you to that because tonight we're talking about color. So if you haven't explored the adobecolor.com website, I'd encourage you to go out there and to play with that, because you can spend hours and hours out there just exploring both the themes of color that they give you. You can put in topics like give me all the themes on retro color, for instance, or vintage colors. And there's hundreds of them available to you to go and to explore if that's, if that's a topic maybe that you wanted to look at. So great tools available already from Adobe with that online site. So, and learning those color rules are really great, again, for matching your colors, because color is so important when you are building your images, because color has a lot of meaning. The other thing that I will send to you to be posted on your website, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it tonight because we only have an hour, but color has a lot of meaning. So like, red has meanings like intensity and energy and passion, whereas things like violet, represent like power and royalty and wealth. So each of your different colors set a mood and a tone for your images. And it's important to kind of have a feel for your colors and learn what those colors mean as you start to work with toning your images. So with that, let's go into some tools around working with color.